Okay, a few tips about a good recording for free fall. First of all, you want the camera to be flat. In other words, that means horizontal, okay, not tilted up or down, so you have proper perspective in the video. Secondly, you want to have a ruler in view. Okay, you see the ruler in view here. It's a 1 meter stick. We need to be able to tell the computer later how much space represents how much length. Thirdly, you'd like to have a dark background, okay, and a bright object. In this case, I'm using a tennis ball that's visible. Probably anything smaller than a tennis ball is going to be too small, especially if you go outside. You have to be able to see the object through the whole up and down of the throw. Alright, and then it's just about getting a nice vertical throw. You might have to try 5 or 7 times like I have here. And you want to not hit the ceiling, and you want to make sure that the object at the top of its path doesn't go beyond the frame, the field of view, so you can catch the whole view.
Welcome to this tutorial on how to use video analysis in LoggerPro. The first step is to import the video that you've recorded that you want to analyze into LoggerPro. So from a blank LoggerPro file or from a new page in LoggerPro, if you're working in a file already, I would open a blank page and then go to Insert and Movie, navigate to your video, and you should see your video in the screen. Here's the basic idea behind video analysis. You plot the location of the object that you're tracking, point by point, frame by frame in the video, and that plotting generates motion graphs for your object. The first step is to find a good throw in your video, or at least the frame. For me, I only have this one throw here, so I'm going to use the movie controls in the lower left-hand corner to get close here. And then I can always use the frame advance to find the correct frame. So that's going to be the first free fall frame for me. That's the one I'm going to start on. We now want to begin analyzing the video. All of your tools will appear on the right hand side of this video frame, and you can reveal them by clicking this button in the lower right hand corner here. It's also put on the screen for us a position time graph. Okay, so I'm going to resize that. All your controls are here, and if you're wondering what they do, you can just hover over them for about 2 seconds, and then a little menu appears about what they are. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our scale. Right? We're going to tell LoggerPro what distances are in this video. I'm going to click that horizontal ruler, and I'm going to come down here. You would go to wherever your ruler is, right? And you would outline, it's probably a meter stick. And you draw this green line with your mouse, and then you tell the video how long that is. Okay? So that will tell LoggerPro what scales are in the video. The next thing we're going to do is, like the good physicists that we are, we're going to set up a coordinate system. Okay? And if you hover over another one of these buttons here, it'll say Set Origin. Select it. And it's going to be easiest for you to track the top or the bottom of the ball, okay, as opposed to the center. So I'm going to click at the top of this ball here, and you'll see a set of coordinate axes appear. Don't be confused by this yellow dot. It's just a handle, okay? It allows you to rotate the axes. Sometimes that's appropriate, okay? I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So a horizontal is X. It's positive X to the right and positive Y up. You are now ready to plot the location of the ball at different points in time. To do that, you're going to come to this button here, Add Point, select it, and now you're going to click on the location of the part of the ball that you're going to track. And once you do so, it puts a red dot on the video screen, and then it automatically advances the video by 1 frame. So now you can simply just track the ball in time in your video. And you're just going to trace it out. Right at the top, some of the points might stack up a little bit. They won't be perhaps as accurate as you like. That's not a big deal, because doing it this way, you're getting so many data points that you're going to get a really good trend regardless. Occasionally you're going to misclick, right? Like over here. And anytime you misclick or click while you're in this add point mode, it's going to think that that's the location of an object. So if we want to remove those points, there's a way to do that. And it's this top button here on the right, select point. So I'm going to choose it. And I can pick these individual points that I'd misclicked on. If you look closely, there's a little hollow sphere that appears around it. Once that's the case, then you just hit the delete button on your keyboard and those points will go away. Let's now take a look at the position time graph that was generated. Okay, you see this marvelous parabola here, should be familiar to you. But you also see this somewhat puzzling second trend, this green trend. Remember that when you click that data point on the video, right over here, these orange points, it's an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So what you're seeing is the x and y coordinate, but it's displayed at the same time. We're not really interested in the x coordinate because we only had y motion. So we're going to have LoggerPro no longer display the x coordinate. Select more, scroll down to video analysis and uncheck the x coordinate, click OK, and now you just see your y position motion. Doing this process also generates velocity data. It's just not automatically displayed. So we're going to go to Insert, Graph, and we're going to choose Insert Graph. You'll see that it defaults to, it just tries to guess what you're wanting to display. We want to choose Y velocity. Also notice the difference in colors. This is red acceleration and orange position. Those colors need to match to draw from the same data set. So I'm going to click on the Y-axis label again. I'm going to uncheck acceleration. I'm going to come down under video analysis because that's where our data is. Click on the gray arrow there and that will display choices underneath. Choose Y velocity. And now you see this marvelous linear trend. The last step is to fit some trend lines to this data. I'm going to drag to select my data, analyze, curve fit. Even though this is a line, we're going to select curve fit because there's all these options here. You're going to select linear fit, choose time offset. That's very important. What that does is it makes the beginning of your data be t equals 0, right? Rather than the time being in the beginning of the video, it will make time be 0 at the beginning of your analysis. Select try fit. You get basic information about the slope and y-intercept of your fit, and you get, of course, this great correlation down here. Click OK. You can move this around as needed. Last step, come up to your position time graph, fit a second order polynomial to it. So same process, analyze, curve fit. This time second order polynomial. Select time offset again. You see this wonderful correlation. OK, and you are done. Very nice work. One more thing we'd like to do here is insert an acceleration time graph. Unfortunately, LoggerPro doesn't make it very easy on us. So when you go to insert a graph in the conventional method, you do get an acceleration time graph. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and resize this. It's not displaying anything. We're going to have to work on that. But you can go ahead and display it. Okay, notice that the red lettering of acceleration does not match my orange lettering. That tells me that it's drawing from a different data set. I need this to be orange. Okay, so I'm going to go here to more. I want to have it display the orange acceleration. Notice that what's checked is the acceleration from the latest run. Okay, that's if I were to attach a motion detector. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to come down here under video analysis, and you see that unfortunately there's no option for acceleration. Okay, in other words, there essentially is no orange acceleration for me. I need to create it. So I want to show you now how to do that. We are going to do the following. I'm going to go to Data, New Calculated Column, and here we're going to have to create an acceleration quantity for video analysis. Okay, under units, I'm going to write it this way because this field does not allow us to do a squared. Okay, you could also do the caret like that if you'd like. All right, next step, very important. Under data set, you want to choose video analysis. Okay, in other words, we want to create an acceleration quantity for video analysis. Now I'm going to click in this expression field, make sure my cursor is clicking here. Select function, calculus, second derivative. Okay, you don't need to know what this means. If you do know what it means, some light bulbs may be going off. This is a calculus function. We're going to select it. It writes that function into the field, and notice that it's put the cursor in between the parentheses. In other words, it's wanting to know, take the second derivative of what? Come over here to variables, choose y for your y position, which is what we plotted, and then click done. Nothing happens. But we've updated LoggerPro's brain, so to speak, to now display this new quantity of acceleration for video analysis. The last step is simply to have it display in this graph. So click once on the y-axis label, go to More, uncheck acceleration. Under the latest, hit this gray right arrow to expand your video analysis options. And now when you go to the bottom, you're going to see an acceleration option. And there we see that marvelous constant acceleration that we have become accustomed to when we study freefall. And so since this is a constant acceleration, the last step here is instead of fitting a line or a curve to this, we already know it's essentially a flat line. We just want to know what the average of these values is, right? So we're not going to do a curve fit or linear fit. We're going to highlight that region. And you know what? I might actually update the timestamp here to match the ones above it. So 0.5 on that side and 1.1 over here. So it's vertically aligned with the graphs above it. So I've highlighted the region that's roughly constant, right, like there. And then I'm going to come up here to this statistics feature. And that just runs statistics for the data that you've highlighted. And you can see here that my mean, my average, is this number here. And that is what would be your average acceleration.